is Hardcore Hockey Talk, the first ever podcast of this fine show. My name is Roddy van Grieken. I'm also known as DutchJet29 on the Facebook page of Hardcore NHL fans. I cover the Winnipeg Jets. Besides me are Rob Azoo. He is also known as Bleak Teal on that very same page. He covers the San Jose Sharks. Also here, co-owner Zachary Anderson. He's also known as Toothless Grin on that very same page and covers the Philadelphia Flyers. On that very same page, there is Alexander Butt. I didn't come up with a second name either. His name on the page is CBJ Canadian. He covers the Columbus Blue Jackets. And last but not least, the other co-owner, Ryan Ree, also known as Canadian Preds fan. He covers the Nashville Predators. There's a lot of hockey to talk today. Round 2, we just had it, and round 3 is right around the corner. But first, hello gentlemen, how are you all doing today?
I'd like to start by you called me Butt, you asshole.
Well, it's your second name on Facebook, so I had to.
I'm pretty good.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man, you gotta make a big deal about that.
Butchered my name.
It was just too easy, okay. So,
How's everyone going today?
Pretty good.
pretty good. How about you?
Pretty fantastic. Got some good hockey to talk about.
Oh, you bet. There's a lot to talk about. So, there's one thing we have to explain already. Right before the show started, we were waiting for Ryan. So Alex told us to call him a slut. So we all did that. Rob tried it too, but because of his autocorrect, he called Ryan Slit. So you might hear that name popping up a couple more times this show.
Gotta love
Because,
that effect.
as everyone knows, Ryan is quite the slit.
Yes.
Alright, so everybody's doing fine? Nice. So, as we mentioned, round 2, it just ended a couple of days ago. First series we want to talk about is the Rangers against the Capitals. It ended in Game 7 on an overtime goal by Derek Stepan. It saved my bracket since I have the Rangers picking the cup. Well,
Rangers suck. Fuck the Rangers.
How did you guys feel about that series?
Fuck the Rangers.
Well, that's pretty clear.
Right there with you. It was a good series. Went to 7 games. Went to overtime in the 7th game. Yeah, which you can't really complain about when it comes down to it.
Rangers is still sucking my dick.
But hold on, I got shit coming from my background.
Is it you or is it Ryan again?
Let's see.
For once, it's not my
Ryan's
bird.
slit, so.
But no. So it went to overtime in the 7th game, which is always a fun thing to watch. Make you stay up for that shit.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I feel like Holtby battled that whole series.
Oh yeah.
Probably one of the more underrated goalies of the league.
Definitely.
I know I wasn't expecting it this year. Yeah, I was kind of like, you guys aren't going to do much with Holtby, but they definitely need to find a backup there in Washington because Holtby played the most games out of any goaltender this year.
Yep.
Pretty
I believe
close.
so.
And so if he goes down, they have no one there if he got injured. So
Well, I'm
they
wondering.
need to find a backup.
Well, I'm wondering whether that's because of a bad backup or just Holtby being so damn good for the Capitals.
Holtby did hold them in for a long time.
Because Grubauer isn't the worst goalie either.
No, he did great
No,
against
he's not a bad backup.
Yeah, in his game against the Isles,
Yeah.
Grubauer played. He was fantastic.
Oh, it's
He
safe.
was-
Yeah.
I was impressed. So
Yeah, the save percentage wasn't there. I believe it was below 900, but
yeah,
he still made the critical saves for the Capitals. I believe it was
But then
game
again-
5.
I think it was game 5.
But then again, Trotz also he ran A to the ground when in Nashville.
Yeah.
But I just hope he's not making that mistake of thinking that Holtby is Pekka Rinne, which obviously he's not.
Well,
I'll give you my thought on the Washington and the Rangers series. As being a Preds fan for as long as I have and watching Trotz be there, especially during the playoffs, if you go back to 3 years ago when it was Preds versus the Coyotes,
yeah.
Ryan Ellis and Matney Zelkholm, they're both offensive defensemen. Trotz did not want both of them helping the forwards out in the rush. Honestly, Trotz is a good. I think Trotz is a good man and all, But when it comes to like important situations, I think he just kind of loses confidence in the team almost.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more about the Nashville Predators or of something also for the Washington Capitals? Because I don't really had a feeling they had the same issue you're talking about. I mean, well, Matt Green obviously is on the third pairing right now, but
And Matt Green's going to come out in free agency this year and be probably one of the highest paid people out of free agency this year.
Absolutely. Any team who grabs that man is going to get a lot of good luck.
Yeah.
well, also because there aren't many quality free agents out there, so good players are usually paid as great players, and bad players usually paid as good players. So, but we'll leave that free agency talk for later as we come closer to the free agency period. But Rob, how do you feel about the series?
I think it was a great series, and looking back at Game 7, you'd think Washington would win it because of the way they were playing,
Yeah,
especially in overtime.
for sure.
They deserved a better fate.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
do.
I'll be talked about that as well.
And Ovechkin is no Mark Messier.
Well, see, that's the thing, though, is when does the statute of limitations for Messier run out? I mean, that happened, 21 years ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
Anytime
94.
someone somewhat guarantees or, kind of says, oh, I think we're going to win, then everyone's like, oh, is Messier all over it? It's not. I mean, that's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But yet people still compare, any little thing to, oh, well, that's a Mark Messier thing, so you better, come through it. For the most part,
like Trotz comparing Ovechkin to
Messier.
yeah.
Yeah, true.
Well,
Go ahead, Zach.
on the flip side of that, though, he did. I mean, you can't really blame Ovechkin for that game. He pretty much, he scored their only goal. And, he worked his ass off most of the game. I mean, and there are some spots where I think he could have maybe worked a little harder, could have kept his legs moving, but,
Yeah. At least they didn't
but-
roll over and die like the Habs against the Lightning.
Well, the Habs
Exactly.
still put up a pretty good fight. It was just too little too late. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my other question. Did you guys see when Kucherov was throwing his passes up the middle?
Yep.
Yes.
Making rookie mistakes a lot during Game 7?
Oh, yeah. I think that was just nerves, man. Being in a
Definitely.
big impact game like that, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get nervous. You're going up against a team full of veterans like the Rangers. You've got Lundqvist in net. You've got Boyle. You've got Nash. You've got St. Louis. You've got McDonough. You're up against a good core of players that have been in this experience for many years before you.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, a little side note on that, Boyle did practice today. So
He did.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, I did hear
Apparently
that.
he's all good for the series against the Lightning.
All right.
Callahan, too.
Caroline too, yeah. Yeah, that will be a great series too. But also the Rangers are except for Hayes probably, although he plays like an established NHLer, they're all established NHLers. Boyle, St. Louis, guys like that. Lundqvist, you mentioned, McDonough, Girardi, the list goes on and on.
Kreider's still a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But like we talked about earlier, like I said with Kreider, I obviously as a Flyers fan, I can't stand the Rangers. And I can't stand the Capitals either. So that whole series, I was like, just both of you, kill each other and then just keep going.
Yeah.
Next round. but
the team that comes out as decimated as possible to lose out round two.
Exactly. But Kreider, if you just take the name off the back and the sweater, and you take the logo off the front, he as a player is what you want because he's big, he's strong,
that's
he's
true.
fast.
Yeah.
And, I wouldn't want to see him coming at me from a breakaway because A, he's gonna crash my goalie, and B, he'll probably score anyways. So
Exactly.
But that's my problem with him. We should watch his. I think Ryan had a pretty solid lunch as I hear it. But anyways, what I was trying to say, Kreider should watch what he's doing. I believe he crashed Anderson, Fleury, Price, all when they were on top of their games.
Pavlik, he crashed.
Yep.
And some of those are like borderline. Like you can look at it and be like, all right, maybe that one was accidental. But like I said, I've never seen a player accidentally hit the goalie that much.
Well, that Pavlik thing, that wasn't like crashing it. He just made the dig, and as soon as the puck crossed the line, he went into the goal and never really touched Babcock. So that's not really a thing that I blame him for, even though I'm a Jets fan. But still,
What do you guys think of Tom Wilson?
Who? Wilson?
Tom Wilson?
Oh, the piece of shit GM for Buffalo?
No, that's
No.
Oh, that's Tim.
no,
Yeah.
somebody else.
It's you while I go down then.
Now the checker of Washington.
Tom Wilson's the guy from Washington, the big guy. He's like,
yeah.
I think he wears 47, 45, something like. He wears something like that.
43.
43. Yeah.
43.
He's already a steal, I would consider.
He is also the GM for Buffalo.
No, that's Tim Murray.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Everyone's the GM for Buffalo.
Every Buffalo fan, everything. It's just
All right,
All two of them.
all right. Those were enough shots at Buffalo already for one episode.
We're gonna get
Well, hang
murdered
on,
by
one
Buffalo.
more.
One
You
more
know-
shot.
Okay, I don't know if you guys realize this, but Buffalo Sabres fans are slowly turning into the Edmonton Oilers fans. They're like the stupid birds off that one Disney movie. Mine. Every time a free agent comes over to hear a trade rumor, they're always like, he's coming to us.
Yeah, but that's
I love
because
Finding
Buffalo
Nemo.
has so damn much cap space.
That's what I was
Like
going to say. They have
22 million.
To be fair, yeah, they do actually have to. Their issue is like for the Flyers, the Blackhawks, the Penguins, all these other teams. The Lightning, they have to go down in cap space. While Buffalo, they have to go up to hit the floor and continue on with their season. So
Yeah, that's true.
So guys,
what?
I'm just looking up.
No,
Says
oh man.
oh sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. I think this will become pretty fun.
So senior elected city officials in Glendale, Arizona, say they are exploring whether legal grounds exist for them to void an arena management contract with the Arizona Coyotes.
Well, that's pretty random.
I knew this would be
First
brought up.
comment. Here's an idea. Move them to Canada.
Oh,
Second comment. I
Quebec?
hear Toronto still needs an NHL team.
What? Yeah,
Oh.
that's a good one.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, then, I don't think they will get a lot of support.
No.
The Maple Leafs are just too big. Even though they suck at the moment, they're still too big.
Look at Houston, Texas. They used to have a WHA team that had the Iowa Wild there for a while. They love hockey.
Yeah, did that franchise do good?
I think. Well,
They played before against Jet back in the 70s.
Yeah, that's true, but was it a solid fan base? Obviously, I'm not very well known with that team, so you have to help me with that.
I do know that Dallas, if you're talking about Southern teams, Dallas is obviously they do well with their fan base and with their attendance. And I feel like last time I checked, like pretty much middle of the road when it comes to attendance.
Yeah.
So they're like, they're not at the top, they're not at the bottom, they're just kind of there, but it's still a solid franchise.
Well, every time I look at the highlights from Dallas Stars games at the American Airlines Center, it always seems like there are a lot of empty seats. So maybe that's just the lower balls. But
I actually went to a game there once, probably it was the year before they switched to their new uniform.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was them against the Devils, and I got like fourth row seats because I just happened to be in Dallas at the time. And I got fourth row seats for like it was like $200 or something like that, and I was like, okay, I was like, sure. And I
one ticket?
Yeah, $200 for a ticket, which is like crazy because in Philly it's like $300-400 for a ticket to get back. So, I mean, it's yeah.
But anyways, to get back to the Caps Rangers series, because that was initially what we tried to talk about.
Okay.
Thank you, Alex. But
You're welcome.
what do you think about Washington giving up a 3-1 lead in the series?
They have a history of it. They're what is it? 0-6 now when having a 3-1 lead in the series.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? In their history?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they've also been around for 40 fucking years without ever hoisting a cup. So
Yeah.
Or even make it. Did they make it to the finals yet? I don't.
Yeah, they made it one time. David Boyle.
And the
Fleet.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Wasn't it against the Isles too?
They can't play the finals against the Isles, right? Or can they? Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Oh.
I think the Isles beat the Caps one year for the Cup. In their 4-year straight run, I think the Isles beat the Caps.
Yeah,
They could have.
Here, I'm gonna look it up.
Alright. So, but do you think there's some organizational problems there in Washington when it comes to things like that, or is it just something you can't do anything about?
Honestly, I
It's
think
lack of experience.
Could be it.
Not even that, because that's what I was about to say. Niskanen and Orpik, they've both been, they've
Ovechkin,
gone.
of course.
So, for me, I think it's more the fact that a new coach, first year, granted, yes, Obi's been there forever, it seems like. They have a solid team up and
That's
down.
true.
Like, if you look at that, I would switch. I'm not the whole Flyers team, but you know what I mean. I would want my team built pretty much the same way theirs are.
That's true.
So you get scoring depth up and down. You have the key role guys like Joel Ward, Jason Chimera, and then you got the solid defenders or Mike Green's on your third pairing. Granted, I'm not 100% sold for Mike Green. I think he's going to be grossly overpaid, but he's still a decent guy to be on your third pairing.
Yeah. Together with Tim Gleason, I like this. Tim Gleason guy, by the way, I think that's a very solid third pairing. That could have been the first pairing, not on playoff teams, but on some NHL teams for sure.
Well, yeah, like I said, I think it was more of a first year thing. I think that coming forward, they're going to definitely be a team to watch out for.
Well, especially when you're that physical in the Eastern Conference and you do it right. You saw how much trouble the Rangers had with it.
Right.
So I think Washington they'll have more success down the road. Same for Columbus. They're built the same way. No. Moving on to the other series that ended this week, the Lightning against the Montreal Canadiens. Right?
Bullshit.
Ryan, stop taking craps during the show.
Ryan's a slit.
Oh my, Rob. Well, about that series, the Lightning, of course, getting a 3-0 lead in that series. Montreal coming back 3-2. But it all ended this week as the Lightning beat the Habs 4-1 inside Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. What did you guys think of that series? In the meantime, we're calling Zach up again because we lost contact with him.
Okay, good. I was about to say I think we lost Zach, but I thought that game would end in Game 4 or Game 5, honestly.
Yeah.
Yep. It just seemed like the Lightning were outplaying the Canadiens, and Price was just being Price.
Well, I didn't think the Habs were playing that bad. I believe Game 2, Game 4, especially the first period, the Habs were dominating the Lightning. Well, welcome back, Zach, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
We were just talking about the Lightning Canadian series. What did you think of that?
Honestly, I didn't pay too close attention to it. It seemed like every game that was on, I was at work. But from the games that it was just one of those things where it was like every game I seemed to be at work during those. But from the highlights that I saw of it, the little bits and pieces I saw, with the Prust issue, wasn't a fan of that. I think he lost his cool, and he's normally not the kind
that would
really lose his cool like he did.
Yeah.
I don't think anything ever came of that whole ref situation where he was saying the ref was saying. I don't think anything ever actually got resolved with that. Except for Prust got fined for calling him out like that. But
well, and that's the very same ref. Who was it? Wilson, I believe, or something like that.
I forget the ref.
He didn't get a single game anymore in that very series between the Lightning.
No, and I didn't figure he would. I mean, once you kind of have that big of an issue with a player in that series, I would imagine he probably is going to spend the rest of his. If he refs again in the playoffs, it's going to be in the Western Conference side.
Yeah, sure.
Probably.
Yeah,
you know.
the NHL did the right thing with it.
Yeah. So guys, just did research. It was the Islanders beat Philadelphia, Minnesota North Stars, Quebec Nordiques, Vancouver Canucks, and Edmonton Oilers in their dynasty.
So that's what that was.
No, not the Caps.
Okay.
All right. So
Is Zach back?
I don't know.
He's been back.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Why not? So, but did you ever have the feeling that the Habs would bounce back from that 3-0 deficit?
There was hope. I always had hope they would make some history, but
I didn't see that they would. Tampa's. I mean, I knew they'd make it interesting.
Yep.
But I didn't think that they were going to take the series. Tampa was just. I mean, once Stamkos got, basically caught fire, it was. I saw that. I'm like, all right, it's over.
Game over.
Because he's just. He's hard to stop when he's not doing good. So, much less if he's actually on his game. Damn near impossible. So.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
plus, I mean, when you've had troubles all season and postseason scoring goals, and you're up against a very strong team like the Lightning, you're just not going to put anything in the net if you're just barely putting anything in.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, the irony about it was, I think, in the Habs Sens series, the Habs got off to a 3-0 start, and then all of a sudden the Sens came back to 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to pull
That's
it
a
LA.
series I think the Sens should have won, actually.
It was pretty deja vu to see, actually.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is also, I mean, I like Andrew Hammond thing to me.
Yeah.
It's a good story. That's all it is.
That's true.
Right.
Andrew Hammond started up the season as an AHL backup. There's a reason he started up the season as an AHL backup and not as an NHL backup or even an AHL starter. There's a reason he started that low. So the scouts normally don't miss by that much. They don't. It just doesn't happen really. So I think that it was kind of a spike. I think that they're gonna trade him away, or I don't know if he's gonna sign yet. I don't know, but he's either gonna walk or get traded.
And he's RFA or UFA at the end of the season. Forgot what it was.
Yeah, he's a UFA.
UFA.
I can double check on that if you want.
All right. Well, I believe he said he would even accept a 2-way deal. That's the good thing about it. He realizes that he is a legitimate starter already. It was just one stretch, so he has to prove himself again next season.
But then again, I mean, this could be like the ultimate time for the Sens to get some value out of him. That's because he may never have a higher value again. I mean, you just never know.
He's restricted.
So,
And if they don't resign him, who should get him?
Someone needs a backup.
Yeah, who needs backup indeed. You don't select this your starting goaltender, then you're destined for rough times.
Philly, Minnesota,
Columbus.
Yes, focus.
McElhinney is bad.
McElhinney's not bad, but I mean,
I'm not sold on McElhinney.
I hate our
Exactly.
backup with the dying passion.
Sorry, what did you say, Rob?
I hate the Sharks backup with dying passion.
Stella.
Yes.
yeah, Stella.
Don't
He
like
had
him.
that one good game and never played good again.
Yep.
Total letdown.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not looking. And the reason why I said the Flyers is because it's not looking like Philly's going to re-sign Ray Emery, so who knows what's going to happen with him. No, it's just he didn't play. He played well at the beginning when Mason was going through a slump.
Yeah.
But then when Mason got injured, they used the AHL starter. They didn't even use Emery half the time. So
Rob Stepp.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
like Boucher. Boucher just disappeared after that cup run.
Yeah.
And after they lost.
He's actually an analyst now for Philly Sportsnet, for Comcast Sportsnet here.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they're joking because the Flyers goalie coach left. He's like, everyone's like, oh, so you're gonna be the coach now, the goalie coach there? So,
Well, wouldn't be a bad thing, I think.
maybe.
I
mean,
know. He's inexperienced though.
He does hold the shutout record though for the longest consecutive shutout streak, even though he did it with Arizona.
Well, regardless, he still does.
He still has a record.
Exactly.
Well, and what did you guys think of the other series? They ended a bit earlier than the Habs, Lightning and the Rangers caps, obviously. But I think the most surprising one, Chicago sweeping the series with Minnesota.
Not surprised. Chicago gets all their good players just before the series starts.
Yeah.
Minnesota's going in on a Cinderella story streak.
Right.
I never really expected Minnesota to get by a team like Chicago. Chicago's just too damn good for that.
Yeah. Well,
And plus Chicago's had Minnesota's number all through the playoffs and all through the regular season. So
sure.
Well, also though, Minnesota has expected big things out of Thomas and he hasn't delivered. I feel like he hasn't delivered since he was on Buffalo.
Right.
He went silent in the playoff series with the Habs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about that. That was bad.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that's the way. It's almost like you look at it and you're like, okay. To me, just now at this point, just seems like he was a good player or an average to good player on a bad team, which made him look better. Because if you're scoring all the points for your team, everyone's like, oh my god, this guy's really good. But then you move him to a team where he isn't the best player, like in New York with John Tavares, or with Minnesota with Zach Parise, or Montreal with Max Pacioretty, then he just doesn't wow you like it does when he's the only one doing it.
Yeah, for sure. And also, that's a pretty big bump for the Minnesota Wild. He signed for 2 more years, I believe, for $6 million a year.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the easiest contract to get rid of if you would like.
Exactly.
Yeah, he hasn't lived up to that contract whatsoever. The other series, the Calgary Flames Cinderella story, it ended in 5 games against the Anaheim Ducks after eliminating the Vancouver Canucks in 6 games in the first round. What did you guys think of that series?
Well, TJ Brody's a hometown boy, and I was cheering for him.
Yeah.
Take the Flames to the third round and hopefully make it to the Cup final.
Yeah, that would have been something.
Let's be real. The Flames played fantastically in that series. Like, they were outmatched, outgunned, underaged. Like, the Flames played amazing hockey against the Ducks.
I agree.
Well, not in game 1.
Not in game 1.
No, not in game 1.
But in the other games.
Yeah, well, they were just overpowered. It was just the inexperience, what you talked about, and also lack of quality, and it isn't the easiest to overcome an injury of Giordano. It's already a miracle, I would say, that they were able to overcome it this far. But
Joe really impressed me too this year, though, with
sure.
how he was. I mean, he's such a small guy too, but he's from the Philadelphia area, so obviously I had some sort of tabs on him. But he definitely surprised me on how he was playing. I wasn't expecting it to translate that well from the NCAA to the NHL like that. That's something that's something you see out of a kid that was in major junior, not something you see out of a kid coming right out of college.
Yeah. Rightfully so nominated for the Rookie of the Year trophy. Color.
I do agree with that.
Yeah. Although I do believe the winner of that award, although Gaudreau had an amazing season, I believe it should go to Mark Stone. Mark Stone is a fantastic player, and he deserves the award.
See, I believe it should go to Aaron Ekblad. Yeah, because the way he just looks, you couldn't tell he was 18-year-old defenseman going in for this year.
No.
Left the record.
For a while, he led his. I don't know if he finished, but I know for a while he led his team in points. You know, as an 18-year-old defenseman, and it's just he didn't look out of place in the NHL at all. So I really wouldn't be upset with any of the picks, but I really think that Ekblad deserves it more than anyone.
Yeah, for sure. And he also, I believe, he led the Florida Panthers in, was it shot attempts when trailing? I believe it was something like that.
Yeah,
the entire team.
Something like that, yes.
He can already take the bull by the horns, if you will, in Florida. So, anything you guys would like to add on the review of the second round?
No, I mean I thought the Flames were going to take it a little further than the fifth game, but like we said, it's just the Ducks are such a good team right now, and then
for sure.
Then adding James Wisniewski at the trade deadline and Ben Lovejoy.
Good pick.
Or not Ben Lovejoy, they trade Simone Dupre.
Yeah, Simone Dupre. Dupre need that.
That was the rich just got richer on that one, and it just when you have that kind of depth, it's just hard to beat you.
Yeah, for sure. You think the Anaheim Ducks won that trade, by the way?
Which one?
With the Pittsburgh Penguins for Lovejoy.
I hate everything Pittsburgh, but I mean,
no kidding.
No, we honest.
Exactly. I don't know. I mean, I didn't mind some Dupre though, like as a player.
He's more physical, I would say.
Exactly. He had that physical style, which I like. Obviously, being a Flyers fan. If you're not physical, I'm not a big fan of you. But he had the physical style, which I liked, but at the same time, so he fits in with Anaheim.
Yeah. He fits in with
Lovejoy also didn't seem to do much when Pittsburgh. He's kind of, I don't know, he didn't
came
impress
back.
me. Yeah. Or came back.
Oh, by the way, all-time points leader for Arizona, Oliver Ekman-Larsson with 43 points.
Wow.
Followed by Gant, Gagne, and Doan.
Damn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For this year?
Yeah.
This year?
Oh, this
Yeah.
year. Yeah. I was already a bit surprised. But 43 for the best player on your team?
Yeah, Ekman-Larsson is
That's
fucking amazing. He is a talented hockey player.
Yeah, that's amazing for a defenseman like Ekman-Larsson. But if your points leader is only has 43 points, I don't know, for Matt left and that you're tanking, but still, that's awful.
Yikes.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're also talking about a team that is probably the worst team in the NHL.
Yeah.
Like, overall. Like,
as of
Buffalo
now.
are shitty teams. But when has Phoenix, other than that one run, ever been a good team?
Well, here's the thing, too, with Phoenix, is that, like you said, now I would definitely sit, if at the beginning of the year I would have said, okay, well, Phoenix has a better team than Buffalo, just looking at the roster.
Yeah.
But now when you look at it, well, they have Evander Kane, they have Zach Bogosian now, they have Buffalo. Yeah, they have Evander Kane, Zach Bogosian, Zemgus Girgensson he did amazing things for my fantasy team. I was like, okay, sure. I mean, but so they have something to build around. Plus, adding Jack Eichel, and then it's just I look at their roster and I'm like, okay, that's a solid roster. While Arizona, they've lost, they lost Antoine Vermette, but then again, he hasn't done shit in the playoffs yet either.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's
worked out really good for the Coyotes.
Yeah. Well, let's be real, because, I mean, when Doan retires, because he's old.
Right.
So
He's old.
already, yeah.
When he retires, they're going to give the seat to Ekman-Larsson.
There's no question. I don't know how you could pass on Ekman-Larsson for the
Because, I mean, if Doan retired and Yandel was there, give the seat to Yandel.
For sure.
I think so.
But now that you've got players just completely reimagine your captaincy in Arizona, give the C to Larson, give an A to Erad, and then fucking last one's in the air.
Yeah, but that's assuming that he retires next year.
Yeah.
If he takes 2 to 3 years to retire, which some hockey players do, for example, Solani, Gawker, they take forever to retire.
Oh yeah. But I mean, this is Doan. This guy hasn't performed, hasn't hoisted a cup, hasn't won the President's Trophy. He used to be good.
Yeah.
And he's been a franchise player for Arizona for the longest time.
Sure.
But when is enough for him, where he either requests a trade for his final season for a chance, or just retires?
Yeah.
Well, just Joe Thornton.
Joe
Thornton. Joe Thornton left Boston, went to San Jose, tried to help San Jose win a cup, and I think Rob's getting angry at me for saying this. Got the C on his chest, did fuck all as a captain, probably one of the most least impressive captains in
Most
NHL.
least.
No, I'd agree with you.
Shut up. Shut up. It's most least. Leave me alone. But yeah, no, Joe Thornton, probably the worst captain in the history of the NHL. He didn't do anything to help San Jose.
Well,
He helped develop
he
players,
helped them in the
though.
regular season, but not in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. But like,
Well, I was
Rob.
saying, going back to Arizona. I was gonna say though, if Doan doesn't retire, or if Doan takes 2-3 years to retire, I mean you don't know because they have Max Domi coming out, Anthony Duclair.
How about that?
You know they have great prospects coming up.
Third overall pick this year. So maybe
Exactly.
Dylan Strome, Mitch Marner, Noah Hanifin will go
I'd
through the pick.
take Dylan Strome from Toronto. Like, take Dylan Strome before Toronto gets him.
Oh,
That's
that
the
pissed
smartest
off
pick in my
Toronto
opinion,
fans.
But I've got a feeling they will pass on it. I don't know why,
You
but
think so?
yeah.
I think they'll go for Hanifin.
No,
Yeah.
I think they'd go for Marner because he played with Domi in Moncton. But the smartest pick would be Strome for sure.
Oh yeah. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
And you guys can get mad at me.
Oh, we
Edmonton
all-
won the draft lottery.
Yeah.
So by far, everyone's saying they're going to get McDavid.
Yeah.
What if Edmonton, for once in their NHL history, is smart and goes for a defenseman? They have enough forwards. They have enough forwards to kill a man.
Yeah.
They need defense and goaltending.
Well, this is not the right time for that. When you have the chance of McDavid, you don't pass him in. Then you may
Okay, but-
trade Nugent Hopkins or somebody else, but you don't use it.
That's the thing, because I could see them using Hall, Eberle, Nugent Hopkins, as a trade piece, because they
Right
can still
side.
get, if they
Yeah, but-
decide to rebuild on the rebuild on the rebuild, so so.
But here's the thing, guys.
Yeah.
Edmonton has had chance after chance after chance.
Yeah.
Amazing player, amazing player. New Crosby after new Crosby after new Messier. Like, they had their chance at an amazing franchise player for fucking 5 years in a row.
3.
3 years? Okay.
Yeah. It
Well,
was Yakupov in 2012,
year out of
Nugent Hopkins in 2011, pardon me, and Hall in 2010.
but listen to these names they've got. Eberle, Hall, Nugent Hopkins, Yakupov. All these players, forwards. Like,
Yeah, they should have taken Yakupov, but that pick
No.
was there was pressure put on Stan Jam back in the time. There was pressure put on him to take Yakupov. I believe he wanted Murray instead, who's now Columbus, and I don't think you are really mad about that because I think Murray is the best of the two.
mhm.
But
Well, so far you have.
I think the Oilers they shouldn't move Hall. He's underrated for sure. He's
Mhm.
in my opinion he's top 3 winger in the NHL,
But
the
very,
left winger at least after
very
Ben and Ovechkin or whenever Ovechkin is on the right side. I leave him in the middle, but Hall is underrated. That's for sure.
well, yeah, but like I said, he's very injury prone.
Yeah.
It seems like he's missing big chunks of the season every year. Which, granted, that's hockey. People miss time, but it just seems like every year you see the headline, Hall out for 2 months or Hall out for however long. You know?
Right.
So, while Nugent Hopkins doesn't seem like I like with Nugent Hopkins, but
Yeah.
I just feel like he needs another. Like I said, I think, and as much as I really do not want to say this, I think Edmonton needs to rebuild on the rebuild. So they need to they need to strip it down again and then strictly build from McDavid up.
For sure, I think they just need to move
Just
a guy like Eberle or Yakupov for a stud defenseman or goaltender, and then
that's the thing is
build it up like that.
that's what they would do. They'd trade away Hall. They could probably get a handful for Hall, and they would get a handful for Eberle, and they'd give it a little less for Eberle and less for Nugent Hopkins. And then eventually, though, you get all these big pieces that you move that will be great on other teams, but then you also get enough to fill up your roster and build around McDavid, who
Good
if
idea.
all pans out, is the next Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
And he say he's even better than Crosby, or he will be even better than Crosby.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean,
Getting tired already?
Yeah, I have 2 kids, dude. I'll be lost on that.
All right, guys. I think it's time we move to the OHL.
Wait,
Oh,
what is it? Anyways, want to do the OHL now or round 3 predictions?
well, I think Oshawa finally is going to silence the Otters.
Yeah, you think so?
They have a
They're up
3-1
3-1.
series lead.
Yeah.
I think Oshawa is going to silence them and get to go on to the Memorial Cup.
Yeah.
So right now,
But I have Kelowna winning the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, I would love to see Kelowna winning it.
I
already
think
won.
Kelowna.
Oh, never mind.
They won the West.
Yeah,
they
4
were the
games.
semi-champ.
Yes, Brad.
who's coming out of the queue?
I believe the series is tied at 2. The team
I know
that has
Rimouski and
Rimouski and Quebec, but both teams will go to the Memorial Cup anyways, since Quebec is hosting it. But
Yeah, that's
Well-
really funny. I find that really funny.
yeah, for sure. And also,
I know.
I think go ahead.
I was saying, I know the Flyers have a big prospect on Rimouski,
Yeah,
Sam Morin. Yep, who's huge. I'm hoping he pans out.
Yeah. I also have Frederic Gauthier from Toronto. They've got Jan Kostalik, later pick from Winnipeg, all drafted in 2013.
Yeah, I was hoping that Calgary Hitmen were going to go further because they have Travis Sanheim, who I'm extremely excited for, but obviously that didn't happen. So I guess I got to root for Rimouski for the rest of the,
For sure.
Well, all I gotta say is I'm not surprised that Campbell Rockets won it because Duncan Keith's played there, Silver's played there. Nashville loves Kenneball, especially with Colton Sissons we drafted and Justin Kirkland last year. So
Yeah, that's true. And they also have Draisaitl, Morrissey, of course, that being.
Draisaitl also won MVP this year.
Yeah, that team is.
He deserves it.
Yeah, that kid is
Kelowna
amazing.
deserves it. Kelowna deserves it, man. They are a fantastic, hardworking team. They haven't stopped. Like, they're a good team.
Shea Weber was at Game 4 and he even said that this team is a team of champions. This always has been.
For sure. Alright, so shall we move on to the round 3 predictions? Or looking forward to that round?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think we're gonna see a Stanley Cup final between the Ducks and Lightning.
I'm afraid the Caps, not the Caps, they were Chicago. I mean, I'm afraid they will make it to the final because of their just their proven talent. I think they Anaheim doesn't have a single edge over Chicago except for their depth in the middle. But I'll take Tails over Getzlaff any day of the week. I would take Kessel over Richards, but I'm pretty not scared of what Chicago can do.
And yeah, definitely Chicago wins the goaltending battle.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Both teams are amazing, high-scoring teams.
Yeah.
They're strong.
True.
They're well-built.
For sure.
I think this is going to be the series to beat all series. Like, this has been a highly anticipated series for a very long time.
Do you think the fact that Anaheim has only played 9 games so far in this playoffs will come back to bite them, or is it going to be an advantage for them?
I think it's an advantage. I think it's an advantage because it proves how well they play.
Well, they both had a very long playoff.
That's made Chicago change their goalies twice.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, but now they found the routine in Crawford again. So
how long does that last?
I was right about
If
to
a
say
team like
that.
Nashville,
Actually.
who had an early exit in round 1,
well,
gave Chicago a run for their money. And then so they had a strong matchup in Nashville and Chicago.
Yeah.
Round 1.
Yeah.
Nashville gave Chicago a run for their money.
For sure.
Round 2, Minnesota's an easy beat. Minnesota just wasn't good enough to beat Chicago.
Yeah.
But now they're going up against Anaheim, who scored way higher, or who placed way higher in the standing than Chicago. Anaheim had the better season.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
More physical too.
Exactly. I think Anaheim comes out on top just by their physical aspect and their scoring ratio.
I'm hoping so. I just want to see a new cup winner. I'm not interested in another And it's another time that either Boston, LA, or Chicago wins the cup.
Be
Yeah,
nice.
Let's see.
Because if Chicago makes it to the Stanley Cup final, no matter who they're versing, Tampa Bay or New York, they are winning the cup.
You think so?
And we won't hear the end of
I
it from
really
the
like
fans.
the Rangers this year.
I don't like the Rangers at all.
Yeah.
I hate their fans.
You all know I hate the Rangers, but
Yeah, we know.
I hate their fan
you should
base.
have heard me. You should have
Well,
heard
Rick,
me.
Rick the Dick's on the Rangers.
Yeah, and well, I hate Rick Nash. He's the Joe Thornton of Columbus. He did fuck all for Columbus.
Well, oh yeah, for Columbus.
He's not so nasty these playoffs.
Well, also for New York to go to the playoffs.
Well,
Every single
Yeah.
year.
that's yeah. Isn't this?
He is the regular. He's a regular season player. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Just like Malkin this season.
Yep.
And here's the thing, though, and this is what I think that Chicago and Anaheim's going to 7. And,
Yes.
Who comes out on top?
to hold a gun to my head, I'm going to say Chicago. If you're holding a gun to my head.
Yeah.
I am absolutely holding a gun to your head.
Yeah. I have to say Chicago, but
You have a 5-second head start. Go.
okay, I'll start running. So yeah, I think Chicago's going to go. Now in the East, Tampa and New York. This is where I think honestly the first game is going to decide it. And normally that's not the case with me.
No.
I like to wait till the end, but I seriously think because I think if Tampa makes it go to Game 7, they're going to lose. If they can wrap it up in 6 or less, they'll win.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Lunk undefeated in Game 7s. You know, he has like ridiculous like .973 or whatever in game. He's ridiculous in
It's
Game
insane.
7s.
Yeah, he's no in.
So if I think Tampa needs to win. You know, they definitely need to win the first game.
Yeah.
And if they can wrap it up in 6, and I think they'll win it. But other than that, I think if it goes to a Game 7, it's for sure going to be.
I think Rangers will take it. Again, those teams play a very similar style. But
Yeah.
Lundqvist has been so darn good in elimination games. He's like 10-2 in elimination games over his career. I think that's the streak will go on, and I think the Rangers will win it in 6. And I don't see Tampa winning more than one game at Madison Square Garden.
See, that's the.
And I don't see Tampa winning all games at Amalie Arena or Amalie Arena, whatever it's called.
I think the opposite. I think I have the Lightning in 5.
Lightning in 5.
I have the Lightning in 5 just because of how good they've been playing this postseason. Like I hate the Lightning just as much as the next guy. I hate hockey in Florida. It's stupid. It's retarded. But Tampa Bay has a well-built. They're a well-built team. They're a well-oiled machine.
A lot of young talent too.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Alex.
Yeah. So,
Go ahead.
yeah. I want to say Anaheim in 6, Tampa in 5.
Yeah.
And then Anaheim winning in 4.
I think our other admin, Ryan D, would like that. And Friday, Lightning.
He's gonna have a heart attack if it's Lightning and the Ducks.
Yeah. For sure.
Here's the thing.
I want to see his reaction so badly when that
Anaheim
happens.
and Tampa, just for the ones who don't know yet.
See, and here's the thing, though, is I think if you like physical, like smash mouth, hockey, don't see the Eastern Conference Finals. You're going to be bored. It's going to be.
Oh yeah.
It's probably gonna be the least physical series we've seen in a long time, just because of the way the two teams play.
Yeah.
Small, but also I think something that isn't being mentioned is that if New York gets back Zuccarello, I think that it's going to change it. It's going to be New York going to the final, to the
That
Stanley
is
Cup.
a big game.
Oh, yeah.
changer.
Zuccarello is definitely the game changer in that series. Zuccarello is a fantastic player. But it's that
But he needs
word.
to-
It's if.
Yeah.
If
he comes
the
back.
Rangers.
The big if.
If he comes back, the Rangers make it. If he doesn't come back, it's a whole different ballgame. Except it's not baseball. It's hockey. Yeah.
So it's a different fuck game.
Yeah.
Whole different bucket.
What's baseball?
Wow, you're late.
Better late than never, right?
But I think one will make a difference. I think it's got to be, just like you mentioned, Zach, it will be one of the least physical seniors you will ever see.
Yep.
And that's why I think a guy like Chris Kreider will give the Rangers the edge, although the Bulls have guys like Boyle, Callahan. But I think the combination of Kreider being a good scorer and being very physical, I think that will give him the edge. He'll probably run into Bishop too.
Bishop will reckon
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing, though, is I think that Tampa Bay does have the immediate edge because Boyle played on New York last year. Callahan was playing for New York last year. Strawman was playing for New York last year. So there's three players right there that played for New York. But granted, New York has St. Louis, but
He's aging though.
so they have
Big time.
somewhat of an advantage just by that. That's why I think they need to just jump on it the first game, take game one at Madison Square Garden, and then build off of that because you don't want to give this Ranger team the lead in a series. They'll just run
No way.
For sure.
Not at all.
But I think I don't think that's big of a deal since the captain of the Lightning of last year is now playing on the Rangers. Of course, the captain of the Rangers is playing on the Lightning right now, so it's pretty complicated. But
Pretty damn
I don't
funny.
think it will make a lot of difference. I think it doesn't need a lot of guys to get an open book on the other pro scouts will get that same open book too. Well, a lot of it, not completely, of course, but I don't see that being a big deal.
I mean, you guys may hate me for this, but I'm gonna give Tampa Bay the advantage, especially with their young snipers to have. Like, I can't think of his name right now. Nick can have something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like you know how it's every year, every team has that one player in the playoffs doesn't do nothing, but when it comes to a very important part of the game, he steps up and he's just scoring, creating points, helping the team. I think he may do that. Then I'm also going to say Brandon Morrow. You guys may make fun of me, but I think he could do something for the Bulls to help them move on to the Cup final.
Yeah.
So he's the only physical player.
Then they added, of course,
He might be the dark horse in this series.
Could be.
Of course, they also added what's his face from Philadelphia for defense.
Coburn.
Yeah.
But that's not helping them any.
Yeah. Well, is he that one
Picks
for
the
physical
first and
Honduras?
third round pick.
Yeah. Well, Tampa Bay was able
I
to give it
would
up
give some help.
2 first-round picks, but you think they overpaid big time for Coburn?
Oh, big time. Well, also we also got got Gudis out of it too. So we had, not only did we get a first and a third, we got rid of $5 million worth of cap space.
Yeah.
Plus we got Gudis who's still on his entry level contract.
How many years is left on the deal for Coburn?
2.
Also 1 after this season or 2 after this season?
So 1 after this season.
1. All right. So you guys have the Rob. What do you pick in the East?
I have Lightning in 6.
Lightning in 6 too. All right. So I'll note it down right now. So in case Rangers eliminated the Lightning, I can brag about it, predicting it right, and you don't.
I mean, my bracket was already dead after first round anyway.
So
my bracket blew up. So
mine is still pretty good. I have 3 out of 4 teams still in it. I only didn't have Chicago in it. For some reason, I expected. Looking back on it, I don't know why, but I expected St. Louis to go on a run.
Same
For
here.
some reason, I trusted goaltending, but that blew up in my face, big time. So
They had such a strong end, so I'm like, alright, I'll go with you guys instead of the Ducks. Big mistake.
something needs to happen in St. Louis though, for sure. Something needs to happen. There's no way that you go through that many successive playoff years where you were dominant throughout the regular season and then just fall just flat on your face.
Sounds like
the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, but that's
all right. So
even if you asked Tarasenko to stop scoring, he couldn't even stop scoring if you even asked him to.
Yeah.
True.
Well, they still got to re-sign him though. That's the issue. They got to clear up the cap space to re-sign him. So, anyways, on to the next thing.
Wait, quickly get this straight. I have Blackhawks Rangers in the finals. I hope it becomes the Ducks, but I'm afraid it will be the Blackhawks. Ryan, who do you have in the West?
I'm going to say it goes to Game 7, Ducks destroyed the Hawks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it goes to Game 6 between the Bolts and the Rangers, and I say the Bolts knock out the Rangers.
All right, so you all have Ducks. Oh, no, wait. You have Zach. You have Blackhawks against Lightning in the final.
Yep.
Alex, Ryan, and Rob all have Ducks Lightning as the final, and I have the Blackhawks against the Rangers. I know, it's just my feeling.
You're a Slit.
I thought Ryan was a Slit.
Don't get me wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Well, mostly on the Chicago part, but we'll see what happens. So, Ryan, you have Ducks Lightning. Alex has Ducks Lightning. Rob has Ducks Lightning.
Yep.
Zach has Blackhawks Lightning, and I have Blackhawks Rangers. So we'll see what comes out of that. And we'll leave the cup final predictions for the time that
When the time
as soon
comes.
as it's there.
All right, here's a fun question since we're talking playoffs.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the year, who did you have winning the Stanley Cup?
I don't know.
I think I had Chicago in. It was Chicago going to I think it was Chicago and New York. I want to say I had.
Which one?
The Rangers.
Islanders. This is after the Boychuk and Letty trade.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So this is when they started doing fantastic and on top of the league.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
well, first off, they got traded before the season officially started, so I don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
I thought you meant like during that run.
Okay, not during like November. They're like, oh yeah, we're actually gonna play hockey. I'm like very un-Islander like, but but no, I had them and Chicago in the final. I also had Columbus though making the playoffs, and
Yay!
that didn't happen. So
They should have.
Didn't come close enough. I remember being I picked Canucks to make the playoffs, but nothing more than that. I completely forgot who I had winning the cup. I believe it was Anaheim, something like that. I'm not sure on it whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Ryan?
Oh, shit. Oh,
shut your fucking mouth.
You Slit.
screw me.
Fucking swearing.
Yeah, you don't do that on the show, okay? You fucking Slit.
Fuck me running. I thought Dallas would make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Fuck me, man. I thought it was gonna be the damn Blues versus shit me. Versus Avs in the final.
Did we catch you by surprise there, bud?
Yes, Slit.
Do what? Oh shit.
Well, anyways, everyone who was listening, apologize for the profanity in this show.
Yes.
It happened before, it will happen again throughout this episode and throughout the next episodes if they were to actually come to fruition. But anyways, so
Yeah, I'm really fucking sorry about it.
You're all slits in my
you're
book.
a fucking Slit too.
Oh.
It's a Canadian thing, so shut up.
Damn racist. I'm gonna be Canadian too, okay?
Doesn't everyone?
Yeah. No.
No.
Sadly not. Here in Holland, a lot of people make fun of Canada, but when I ask them why, they don't know why.
Valid reasons.
Yeah.
From
Seems
our
legit.
friends in the Netherlands.
Yeah. Believe me, I'm not one of them. Well,
Alright.
Because you drink maple syrup and ride bears, ride moose to school. That's why right there.
Yeah, that is true.
It's gorgeous stuff. It's the best syrup ever. But anyways,
Expensive though.
Alright.
Let's
You
move
guys
on.
gotta promise not to laugh at me when I tell you.
Oh my.
Too
Are
late.
you jerking off at the moment?
I had
That's a yes.
Colorado winning the cup.
What did you say?
What?
I had
Colorado.
Colorado winning the cup.
Yeah, winning the cup.
Last season they impressed me. I was like, oh yeah, they can do it.
Yeah, but didn't you take a look at the position stats? I know a lot of people. Well, some people don't push much. Don't push. Damn it! Put much.
Want to try that again?
Yeah, for sure. Don't want to look at it too much in the enhanced stats. They were an awful advanced stats team last year, just like the Calgary Flames this year. So I had them making the playoffs and failing in the first round again. Not making it as the first team in the division, but like wild card, what the Jets were able to accomplish. So yeah, I didn't have them. But what?
Rub it, and that the Jets can do it.
Yeah.
Flyers, just keep rubbing it in. So good.
No problem. I'm just enjoying that for the first time in 4 years we actually had it. So please excuse me while I'm bragging some more about it throughout the episodes that go by.
I had the Sharks beating the
Probably
Rangers
won't
in
be
the
in the
cup.
playoffs next year, but
Hey, you never know. You never know.
With your whiteout, and the away team's wearing white.
you don't get that.
Don't worry, Roddy. No one fucking gets that.
I get it's the past.
You guys are a bunch of animals. But
That's Slits.
I get it's the past, but let's be honest here. It's a little weird when your home team's wearing a different color than the rest of the crowd, and then the away team's wearing the same color as the crowd.
Yeah, but
you're just like, what the
To be
hell?
fair,
Right.
do you
To
not
be
have
fair,
any fans
nothing
in the
really-
Wells Fargo Center wearing the away jersey of the Flyers?
No, it's all orange.
All orange?
All
Nobody has
orange.
the away jersey?
And we're all
Hey,
teal.
it's a sea of orange. Hey, it's a sea of orange.
It's not the seal.
See,
Oh shit! Don't be saying that now, fucking Calgary Klansman. You're saying
No, it's the Sea of Red. Get your facts
See
straight.
the forest juice?
he's a stolar. God, that name.
See, every other fan base, a lot of fan bases have a name. It's like, Calgary Flames, Sea of Orange, with the
See of
winning
orange juice.
or Sea of Red, sorry. Sea of Red.
Sea of orange.
Sea of Orange.
Oh my.
It's a crushed sea.
Yeah.
Orange Crush.
In Philadelphia, it's just assholes. That's all we're labeled as. We don't get a nice fancy.
And you can't be called the Broad Street Bullies anymore because you're all a bunch of pussies.
Exactly. See, last year we were. I was actually disappointed. I was like, because last year we made the playoffs. We also led the fights and penalty minutes. This year we're like toward the bottom in penalty minutes and fights, and we finish in seventh to last. So,
Yep.
like, okay, good.
Yeah, the cookie crumbles.
Talking about the Flyers side, of course the Mike Babcock sweepstakes are going on at the moment. Also some good coaches behind him, like McClellan, Pete Bohr, guys like that. What do you think should be hired by the Flyers as the next head coach?
Who do I want, or who do I think will get hired?
Well, I know you want Mike Babcock, but who do you think it will be?
Honestly, I think it's going to be an assistant coach. Because there's a bunch of assistant coaches that are ready to get pulled up into head coaching positions, like Rod Brandamore from Carolina. He's the Carolina assistant coach right now. He could be a candidate. Davis Payne, he's the LA assistant coach. He could be a candidate to be in there. Go on. I've heard different names float around. And of course, you get the occasional dumbass fan that says, "Oh, I want John Tortorella."
I was about to say Tortorella. He was on Sports Center.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay. So I think it's gonna be a coach that it's gonna be an under the radar coach. I don't think Peter DeBoer is gonna come here. For a while, I was thinking it was gonna be Bilesma, but I think he'll end up in New Jersey.
Well, that would be something. Bilesma
I want him in San Jose.
To Philadelphia, practically.
I know, but no, I think he'll end up in Jersey. So
Yeah, sure.
I hope for Babcock, but I think it's gonna be some under the radar kind of.
Yeah.
So they'll say, "Oh, this is their new coach," and we'll be like, "Who the fuck is that?"
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think of Carlisle? Would that be a good fit? I think he's destined for San Jose, but still.
Yeah, I think I heard it's actually him and DeBoer for San Jose. I'm not a big fan of the way New Jersey's played. Like their trap style game that they played for seems like years and years and years now.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of that kind of hockey. I mean, I get it works, but it's just, I don't know, it's not as.
It's not the way hockey should be played.
Yeah, but that's just I think that's a New Jersey thing. It's
Well,
just
honestly, whatever coach comes in, I want him to reinstill, that stereotypical Flyer hockey.
physical.
Makes
Very
sense.
physical.
Very physical, outwork the shit out of every other team that plays. Doesn't matter. The way Columbus played last year in the playoffs was perfect. That's what I want. And actually, the way that Todd Richards has Columbus playing is, I'm a big fan of that kind of hockey where it's physical. They're gonna outwork you, hustle you.
Well, Todd Richards' contract is coming up after the season. Though I don't think he will be released by Columbus. I think.
Oh no, they're gonna. Yeah, he's not done in Columbus, guys.
I hope he's not. He's building something. Yeah, go ahead.
Right now, Team USA.
Yeah. Is he head coach or
Look what
assistant?
he's doing right now. We're with Team USA.
Is he head coach or the assistant?
Head coach.
Oh,
He's head coach.
Belzman was the head coach.
No, there's my assistant.
Oh, right.
That's the thing too. That this is another reason why I think the Flyers are going to go for an under the radar coach, because it seems like right now in Prague, it is a job fair out there. Bilesmo's out there. Babcock's out there looking at the prospect though.
He's been talking with Shanny for the longest time.
Yeah, but
I think that's there's like because of Shanny, then because Babcock is actually interested in going to Toronto. But anyways.
But the point is that it's like a job fair out there right now at the World, and Hextall came out and said, "I am not going out there. He's staying here in Philly. He hasn't left. To go just not to check on the 6 players that the Flyers have there, not to do anything. He's just literally he's like, I'm just gonna stay in Philly, and so that's why I think he's working. The assistant coaches and the under the radar people that you're like, who the hell? Where'd that come from?
Yeah. So. All right, so I think. What do you guys think
about the Worlds? How about the Worlds?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of it when I was on a holiday in Austria. It was on TV right there. Here in Holland, you won't spot any hockey whatsoever on TV. But it was mostly focused on Germany because it was German channel. But I'm really impressed with what Canada has been doing. I don't really like the way US has been playing. I think it's a bit unstable.
Yeah, Canada's roster is ridiculous. I'm sorry, but when your power play is Giroux, Crosby, and then you have Duchesne on there, and then you have it's ridiculous. For sure. And just the fact that Giroux and Crosby are on the same power play is already ridiculous.
Yeah.
To begin with. It's just like, okay,
it's your Sean Couturier in there too. You have
he's not. Yeah,
is he on the power play though?
I don't think he is. He's not. He is here in Philly. He's on the second unit, but I don't think he would get. He's a great defensive player. He was good offensively junior, but he just hasn't found it in the NHL yet. But obviously you need the shutdown center once in a while too. So I guess he's good for that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, of course, in 2011, when the Jets made their first pick since their return, they passed on Couturier to take Mark Scheifele. Right now, Couturier is the better player hands down, but I think the sky's the limit for Scheifele. Not that he will become a Sidney Crosby, but he will become a very solid first-line center. I don't see Sean Couturier ever coming close to taking over the first-line role of Giroux. I think he will be a very solid second-line center, but because I don't like him that much offensively, I think he will be a very solid second-line center at best for the Philly Flyers.
He's drawn a lot of comparisons to Bergeron just because of the similar height. Like I think Couturier is like an inch bigger, similar weight, like 5 pounds. Couturier finished with like 8 less points this year than Bergeron did, but he started in the defensive zone over 104 times. Yeah, it's like so he draws those comparisons, which I like. I guess I mean that's a good choice. But at the same time, but at the same time, it's it's like, okay, I want to see that. I want to see Bergeron on the Flyers. But the Flyers are Bergeron. So it's another thing. Couturier had, and I need to see Couturier finish it. Like he had the most breakaways on the Flyers than any other player. more than Drew. Voracek hit the most single line breakaway. He doesn't vary. That's the issue.
Alright, so, you think McClelland is destined for Edmonton?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it'll
so
be
too. I think
official once the
Babcock's out
World
of question there.
Championship's over.
It's all McClelland. Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, once
I
the
think
World.
it's all but-
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What did you say, Rob?
I was saying, I think once the World Championships are over, I think it'll be official that he's going to Edmonton.
For sure. I think,
Yeah, I think it's all but down to that. Like it's pretty much you might as well just count it. But here's the thing with Babcock. At this point, I don't even care where he goes. He needs to go somewhere so that everyone else can pick their coaches.
Yeah. Like, I want a new head coach already.
I want that first domino to fall, and then we can pick everyone else out.
yeah, everyone was picking Babcock to be the first, what's it called? The first stone to fall?
Yeah,
I don't know whether that's, but I think it will be McClelland now.
I think so.
But then who picks up Babcock?
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo. I'd say Buffalo. Buffalo or Detroit. I could see him going back to Detroit, honestly.
I don't see him going back to Detroit. I know he said don't read into my comments, but he doesn't seem to be very excited about Detroit's future. I think he's done there. I think he goes to Buffalo indeed. Maybe if Montreal would have fired Terrien, but they announced today obviously that Terrien will stay.
I like Tyrion as the coach in Montreal. He's a good fit.
The players were a big fan of his style, they said today, especially there on A. But
He does speak French though too, so
yeah, he really does.
Babcock doesn't, so there's the disconnect.
Well, there are only a couple of players on Montreal who only speak French. I think they're on A, and Parental are the French players. I think that's it.
Yeah. And I think he's going to Toronto.
Babcock's to Toronto, you think?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
I think Shanny Babcock's team might get Toronto on the right track.
because Shanny's already said if he cannot find a GM by the draft, he will step in as GM if he has to. But he said that's what he said in the interview. He said if you cannot find a GM by the draft, him or Kyle Dubas will step in as the head as GM.
Either way, a great pick, I would say, for GM. Dubas or Shanna, I would trust both of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, I don't think he goes there just because was it Elliot Friedman from Sportsnet? Yeah, that's who it was, that article. He said, he broke down pretty much all the major candidates, and he said, Toronto, he just doesn't see. He said he could see Buffalo, but he doesn't. The reason why he's hesitant on that is because Babcock is a winner. He's won at every level he's been at.
Yep.
And that's all he wants to do. And he doesn't know how much of the losing he's going to be able to tolerate. Like how much of, Buffalo losing games he can tolerate.
Well, Buffalo will be great next season. They've got Eichel, Kane. I don't think Buffalo will be the problem. They only need a goaltender.
I don't think they're going to be great. I think they'll be better, obviously, but it's hard to get worse.
Right.
I think they'll be better. I don't think they're gonna be back in the playoffs again for another 2-3 years, to be honest.
You think so?
Absolutely not.
I think they will be in the playoffs for maybe next year, but the year after for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I like what they were doing. Eichel is coming in, Kane is coming in, as much as I think he's coming back. I think they will do the same as good. Ristolainen is up and coming, same for Sadorov. Bogosian, I think the Jets won that trade, by the way. Myers has been outstanding, and Kane wasn't going to play another game, but that aside, I think Bogosian, he's like a third demon at most, but a very solid one. I think it will propel Buffalo into the playoffs as long as they get a bona fide starter.
For sure.
Who the hell is goalie right now for Buffalo?
I believe it's Chad Johnson.
Really? I was gonna say isn't it Neuvert?
No, Neuvert is on Long Island right now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because Tim Murray made an awesome trade for him, remember?
Yeah.
Every Buffalo fans like, oh my god, we got the best trade ever.
Yeah, for them it was. But I can see a guy like Frederick. Yes, sir.
I would say here's the thing though, is that when you look at it, the how many real starters are on the market right now?
I think Frederick Anderson is from Anaheim.
You think he's gonna? Yeah. They're not gonna re-sign him or anything. They're not gonna keep him.
I think they'll trade him because John Gibson is there. They'll get a solid backup. I think Anderson he won't be there for at most one more season. But Anthony Niemi, as Rob knows, I think he will be on the market.
I think he's going either Buffalo or Edmonton.
Buffalo or Edmonton.
Yep.
I think Todd McClellan's in Edmonton.
Yeah.
So
for
you
sure.
might join him.
Oh, you think that might bring Niemi to Edmonton too?
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I think Carharton will be leaving Nashville.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the same for Nashville will be away from Columbus.
I think Nashville will be not Toronto. I think Nashville even out, not Nashville. Carharton will be leaving out of Nashville, and I think Magnus Helberg or Martin Zanuck will be taking that backup spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what do you think will go to San Jose, by the way? Rob?
Yes. If Toronto gives up Bernier, I think we'll pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Toronto's giving up Reimer.
Yeah, I agree. But Reimer is still a solid starter. He just has a lot of horrible D in front of him.
Yeah.
We might try to trade for Lack, though.
If he goes to a team like San Jose, he might perform a lot better.
Yeah,
That's what I think
won't
with
be
Bernier.
spectacular like Dubnik was for Minnesota, but he will be solid.
Well, if you take a look at Reimer and Bernier's stats, Bernier has better stats since he's been in Toronto.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Bernier was performing very well in LA, so I think.
Of course, how can you when John McClick's the starting goalie?
But yeah, for sure. You're not going to get much ice time when your starting goalie is one of the best goalies in the world, right behind Price.
But, right? Are those just the stats since Bernier coming over, or is it also Reimer over his entire career?
It's just the whole time between Reimer and him together.
Yeah, but Carlisle always had a favor for Bernier, so I think that's pretty unfair to Reimer.
We could also go for Lack.
Reimer's also been there a lot longer, so he's had his chance to impress the team.
Well, or just Carlisle just didn't like him. I think Reimer's underrated too. I think they're both very solid goaltenders, just playing for an awful defense. I think both will be fine in a new market.
But Toronto still needs a goalie, and it's pretty much deciding who it's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be either Bernier or Reimer.
I'll give you something. I think Jake Gardner will be moved.
You think so?
I really think he will, because the last time I was watching Hockey Central and Sportsnet, they were saying that Jake Gardner, he may need a new home. He's pretty much, if you watch, like, I'm a huge Preds fan, but I also watch Leafs games.
Yeah.
And if you watch Gardner play, it almost looks like he's trying to cover everyone's position when he's on the ice.
Yeah.
And it's like when he was playing Carlisle, it was like, yeah, he gets to be on offense. Mm-hmm. But as soon as
Voracek.
Voracek.
You mean? Yeah,
as soon as what's his face got head coach, it's like Gardner forgot what to play, and it's like Jake Gardner almost reminds me of Yumpanov. He doesn't know what role he's supposed to be playing. He's all over the ice, and it's like he's missing the guy he needs to be covering along.
Yeah.
And which I really do think Gardner could fish in maybe a good backup goalie, or maybe a fish in a second or third round pick. That's just my opinion about it and what I think.
I think he would be a good fit in Edmonton.
I am going to say this, though. I am hoping, even though I know there's not a snowball's chance in hell, I think Ron Hextall should ask Shanahan if they'll take back Luke Shen for JVR.
Well, and on that note, I say this is a great point to wrap up the first ever podcast. on Hardcore NHL Fans Podcast.
I agree.
All right.
All right.
This has been quite a thrill, gents.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yes.
It's time for cheeseburger, fries, and the Mountain Dew.
Absolutely.
All right. So this is it for the first ever episode of Hardcore Hockey Talk. We'll probably be back next week. We have plenty of stuff to talk about by then, as the third round will be right in the middle
Starting
of things.
tomorrow.
Right then, yeah. Obviously, Tampa will be visiting the Rangers at 1 p.m. Eastern Time at Madison Square Garden tomorrow. The day after, it's the Blackhawks in Anaheim, I believe.
At 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Thank you. And it will be. I'm pretty sure it will be just as much fun as this episode. So
Give us a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, bro.
Yeah. If you have anything kind of feedback or something we should talk about, you think, leave it in the comments or send it in a private message. Thank you all for listening. This has been Hardcore Hockey Talk, the first ever podcast.
And don't forget, rides a slit.
Best finish ever.